What is going on, guys? We are back with another rebuild on Madden 22, and today is the Baltimore Ravens, a team that is in an interesting spot. You know, you kind of think of them as like, oh, they're fine, you know, to overcome the injuries they did and still have a pretty good season is impressive, which it is, but as far as making the playoffs and, you know, maybe having a Super Bowl run, I feel like there's too many question marks, to be honest. I really think there's a little bit of too many question marks. One of them being Lamar Jackson. Is he their franchise quarterback? It's crazy to think, but that was a really bad season last year as far as being a passer goes. And the whole running back jokes, I mean, they're kind of almost valid. Obviously, they had a lot of injuries, specifically to their running backs and their linemen. I mean, you take Ronnie Stanley away, obviously Linderbaum wasn't here. I mean, what kind of offensive line do you have? It's pretty bad, right? So, I mean, I understand, you know, where the struggles came from there. But now we do have Stanley. Linderbaum, I think it's fair to give him superstar. It's not that teams didn't think Linderbaum was good or not. The problem was that he's literally a center. Not everyone wants to draft a first-round center, believe it or not. Of course, looking at other names, Dobbins is back and healthy. Showed so much promise a year ago. As far as wide receivers go, I just don't think the Ravens can go into 2022 with the wide receiving group they had. I mean, even with Marquise Brown, you still would like them to add a guy, and they didn't. So they don't have him. I think Julio Jones is a good fit, good run blocker as well, and if he stays healthy, he's still a good wide receiver. I mean, I don't know. The Titans, I don't know if they gave up too early on him or what's the story, but I don't know. I feel like he was still productive enough, right? I mean, unless he was really asking for a ton of money even though he was injured, I'm not sure, but he's getting $8 million here, which if you look at someone like Jarvis Landry, he's getting like pennies, and he's younger, so I mean, I'm not trying to say that Jarvis Landry is anywhere near as good as Julio, but as far as like going down the line in the future, kind of, potentially, right? He has more potential to play longer. Also, Mark Andrews, it's nice to have him as quite literally maybe the best tight end in football last year. I mean, maybe like the blocking of Kittle better, but his season wasn't as good as Mark Andrews. As far as defense goes, obviously a couple of different things. Peters is healthy. Pierce is back, but will he be healthy? Of course, it seems like he's barely played lately. I mean, the Vikings, you know, he opted out for COVID, and then he missed half the year for them this most recent year. Calais Campbell, he's literally eternal at this point. Marlon Humphrey's just so OP in the game. I always bring it up, but look at these abilities. It's not going to matter in this rebuild, but short route KO and deep route KO is just busted. Absolutely busted. Marcus Williams joins the squad. What kind of money did he get paid? I thought it was actually a pretty cheap contract, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to take a look, but Owe had an alright year. Kyle Hamilton's a guy that maybe you even put at middle linebacker for us, as he's more of a box-type player, and I don't really know how the game uses strong safeties, so maybe we actually put him at middle linebacker at some point. We'll see. I don't think you can really argue that, especially when you see that the play from the inside linebackers on this team it's a bit suspect, I'll be honest. But as far as a Madden standpoint goes, realistically, you're probably not looking at changing too much on the D-line. You know, if you lose Calais Campbell due to age/retirement, same kind of deal. You could have Travis Jones fit in there. Obviously, Travis Jones is a little bit more of a pure block shedder, but as far as his dev goes, I think it's completely fair to give him star development trait. I gave, I think, 4 stars for this team. 4 stars or better, actually, because Kyle Hamilton's obviously a superstar. And then you have David Ajabo, who's not going to play year 1 for us, or maybe near the end of the year, like real life. He's star development trait. Obviously, Linderbaum, superstar. And then we literally had the other guy, and I already mentioned him, so never mind. Oh, wow, I was deadly wrong. They paid Marcus Williams a lot. Wow, that's a bit surprising, to be honest. I mean, I'm not going to say that the Saints took the dub, but they definitely didn't take an L. Like, there's nothing more, like, satisfying as a fan, which, I mean, there were a lot of ignorant, dumb Saints fans that after that whole Stephon Diggs thing were like, well, Marcus Williams sucks, which, I mean, he really doesn't. But, you know, it feels so much better as a fan knowing a guy that you liked or a guy that's good got paid, because you're like, oh, well, I mean, we're going to pay a 5-year $70 for a safety, you know? Where the Ravens are like, yeah, we will, no problem. But now I really worry about keeping Lamar, because I see Lamar in free agency literally every time, and obviously in this roster, the game doesn't have Marcus Williams' contract, right? So, I mean, with us changing it to be like real life, there's no way we can afford him, can we? freaking 5-year 70 is nuts. And we're broke. We also will run Baltimore, but I will admit, at some point, we may have to not use Baltimore. It's a tough one because, right, they're a very dynamic team. They're still one of those teams that obviously runs with their quarterback a lot, and, you know, you kind of need one of those playbooks to really have a realistic rebuild, if you will. But at the same time, we all know that the game is very playbook heavy. And there's a reason why teams with these playbooks with quarterbacks running a lot don't win that often. And it's because they don't get very good passing numbers. And the receivers aren't developing because of that. And they're just not winning games because they're not scoring enough because of it. And I'm going to rock it as much as possible, but I will admit there's a very good chance we end up switching playbooks. I mean, I don't want Lamar just putting up 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns because you're running KC or something like that, but I don't know, some other play like Bills maybe. Maybe they'll still get some decent rushing numbers because of Josh Allen. I don't know, dude. It's really tough. We'll just see how it goes for now, though. Also, I kind of wasn't paying attention. Don't tell me I had a chance between block shedding and play rec for Patrick Queen, and I was like, play rec, baby. Which I suppose in real life would actually be better than block shedding. But as far as Madden goes, I don't freaking know, dude. I'm poised. The word poised, that's the only word I look for. Every time I see poised, I'm like, yeah, well, there it goes. Now, hold up a minute. 2-0 with the Ravens playbook, though. Hold up. Wait a minute. Things are looking pretty good. Now, here we go. Quarterback check in. Your team has played really well. I mean, to be fair, if the offense is going to play well, it is going to be Lamar Jackson. That's literally how they've built the team. Yo! This is going extremely well. It would go even better if you guys would like and subscribe. It would make me feel great. By the way, did it not just say he was awful and they still won, obviously? But he still gets a boost for next week? How does that make sense? Yo, we are actually winners. We're actual full-on winners. Why did I even look at this? There's no chance you're going to get it. Ooh, this could be big. Tyus Bowser. Obviously, we have David Ojabo as the most likely long-term starter, but, you know, I'm really also debating on choosing a draft class. Do I want to use another real life? I'll do it. Whatever, dude. I should have just done this, maybe not this draft class, we've used this one a billion times, but I really should have just done a draft class every time, just so we had that kind of, like, baseline, right? Because I think there's, like, maybe 3 or 4 that I didn't. I was like, well, as long as we, you know, is it Peyton Wilgar? Is it Peyton Wilgar? Nate Norman. I don't think there's a Nate Norman here. I think this was, like, before we chose the different one, and it's, like, predetermined. But I'm like, oh, we don't need a quarterback, so why would we use the class? It's a quarterback-heavy class. It's like, yeah, but it's still nice, right? We lose our first game by a lot to the Chargers. You know, oh, he got it. It was really weird the way he started, but hey, he got it. Start of element trade. The Ravens, once again, building up that depth, whereas Ojabo is probably still going to be the starter long-term, like we said, but it's nice to have that depth. Not sure why I'm clicking this breakout because we're literally in the Ravens playbook. He's not going to throw for more than like 220 yards if he's lucky. Forget that. We didn't even win. It doesn't matter at all if you don't win the damn game. Back-to-back losses. This is not good. So negotiations. Who do we actually have to pay this season? Kyle Fuller, Julio Jones, Geno Stone. I know they kind of like him, but I don't like him for Madden terms. Tyler Huntley is an interesting one. A 4-year 15, I think, is a fair deal. Does the league see Tyler Huntley as a starter? I think with Lamar Jackson's play style, you would love to have a quarterback like him sitting backup, but would he take a 4-year 15? I'm not sure what the sitch here is. I think a 4-year 15 for a backup level talent isn't terrible. But then again, I think if I'm his agent, I'm like, I know what we have here. We have a guy that knows the playbook, a guy that will probably have to come in a couple of games a season, and a guy with that literal same kind of style that they need to run that offense. I don't know. I'm like, do we bet on him as a starting quarterback, or do we just let him make the? I don't know, dude. I'm just gonna keep it as is. 4-year 15. I guess David Ojabo is ruined. Literally a career backup now because of that. Oh, no. I'm literally not going to press the breakout. There's just no point. Once again, it's just never going to happen. Okay, 45. I got to see. I'm going to look like such an idiot, but let's see. Yeah, I'm not. I'm pretty sure you have to have 4 touchdowns and 400 yards, right? Did I sell? Did I actually sell? I'm almost certain I just sold. If it shows up again, we'll click on it. I'm going to be so mad. I actually think I sold. I legitimately think it's 400 yards or 4 touchdowns for the win. Right, dude. To be fair, I mean, does Lamar really need like that little bit? Probably not. All right, so we have a huge moment here as, well, I don't know why I clicked that. There's just zero chance that's going to happen. But if we win this game, we win the division. We absolutely win the division if we win this game. Come on, Baltimore. No, you've left the door open. The heat's getting in, out. I mean, it's summertime, so. I mean, if we win this one, I think we, well, if we win, literally have it, but the Bengals, we left that door wide open. Literally anyone could get in now. Well, not anyone, just the Bengals, but if we win this game, we might even get the bye week, which would be huge. But let's see. Can we even win this game? We almost choked it. We also got the bye week anyways. AFC looking kind of weak, which is lucky. Of course, looking at the season, how it went, obviously really good start, iffy middle, and really iffy end, you know, losing the last 2 of 3 games, especially against division rivals. Not the best thing, but then again, at the same time, it's division rivals. Anything can go. Sack total's kind of low on the season for everyone, but looking at the yards, I mean, this is like the most juice you're going to get out of the Ravens playbook. This is like, this was impossible, right? This is, the fact that we even got that season is amazing. Of course, rushing numbers were pretty good for Lamar. Could even be MVP. Maybe a little too many interceptions, but close call. Dobbins' yards per carry were awful, but his touchdowns were solid. His yards were decent. Bateman, really good year. Julio, if he could come in and do that for them, that would be amazing. Mark Andrews was awful for his real life self's comparison, like 500 yards less. And then Duvernay was just not involved. Once again, this is a run-heavy playbook. O-line was amazing because, once again, run-heavy playbook. Bowser, awful season, but guess who's a superstar? Well, I mean, Bowser, him, obviously. OA, 11 sacks, 13 for Calais. Please don't retire. Kyle Hamilton had a pretty decent year with 4 interceptions. Kicking, Tucker was not great considering his real-life self. And, yeah, I mean, a decent season. I mean, that's kind of what I expected from using the playbook for the Ravens. 2 running quarterbacks at the top of the MVP list. Not winning it for us, unfortunately. But AFC number 1, Von Miller and his new team. Joke, defensive player of the year, rookie of the year with Away, almost winning it, which would have been clutch. Running back, where the hell's Lamar? Couple more jokes like that coming in at some point. Of course, Bateman was good. Dobbins was up there because of the touchdowns. Stanley was number 2 for O-line. Calais at number 3. Best linebacker at number 5. Best DB at number 4 for Kyle Hamilton. Not bad. Where was he actually on the Defensive Rookie of the Year list? Defensive Rookie of the Year, Kyle Hamilton, number 4. So just number 4 for this man across the board. But no game to play in the wild card. This could be a quick rebuild. I don't expect... Oh, Lord, we just lost to the Steelers. I can't believe they're actually in here. The Browns are 5-12. How are the Steelers here? We are higher overall, but the Ravens playbook, can you really trust it? I don't know. Some MVP of the league. I saw that the freaking Cardinals lost by like 25 points in their first game. Of course, looking like we're going to score, and we just don't. Finally getting 3. Still not much. 3-7, 6-7. It's a really low score, which I suppose for us is kind of what we're hoping for. I know they like to run the ball too, but we run the ball a little bit better because we have Lamar up by 7 and gonna barely hold on, actually. They had a chance right at the end. Lamar Jackson putting up a pretty good amount of yards and touchdowns. Not a pretty good game at all with 2 interceptions thrown. I mean, outperformed by Kenny Pickett. Technically, kinda. Half the yards, though. 47 throws from Lamar Jackson in a playoff game with all those rushing. Jeez, are they trying to kill him? Julio Jones, really good stuff. Maybe Julio Jones is the difference, and you can't say that it's far from reality. Wouldn't surprise me to join them. Marlon Humphrey at 1 interception. And Tucker missing 2 kicks out of 4. Jeez, this guy. I'm telling you, I always mention it in our fantasy draft rebuilds. Like, sure, if you want the highest overall, but he really isn't that good in Sim. I don't understand what it is. I also just realized when looking at Ben Powers, I forgot to change the XP sliders, which is great because we were a team that was 12-5 and we're headed to the championship round. So, you know, clearly we wouldn't have gotten any XP. I knew I forgot something. I knew I forgot something. I also forgot to extend Von Miller's contract, so we'll see what happens there. But the Bengals, how else would you want it? This would be the most watched football game on television. May also be the only one because it's the championship round. But maybe the most watched all year besides the Super Bowl. I mean, I don't know what the numbers are, but I imagine the Super Bowl is the most viewed every year, right? Like for NFL. Like, has there ever been a game that was more watched than the Super Bowl? Probably not, right? Just because of the spectacle from all over the world. Of course, forget about that. No need to talk about the Super Bowl if we're not going to be in it. It's 3-7. Come on. Come on, Ravens. Was the signing of Julio Jones enough? It's not looking like it, to be honest. Nice little drive with the 2-point. Getting a little cheeky early on. 14-18, 21-18, 21 all. Huge drive. I kind of want to come in. Like, what do I run, though? They obviously have a better chance to win this without me playing. And ironically enough, Pierce is probably the worst one to use around here because he is like a block shedder. Spin move. That's a nice little play. Him getting out of bounds was huge for them there, though. They're from the 34. I mean, this seems like a pretty clear-cut, field goal chance. But at the same time, it's not guaranteed. Joe Mixon, very good running back, obviously. He's going to get met in the hole, but a holding call. That would be harsh for the refs to call, but I've seen that before. I'm pretty sure I've seen it go against a team that Brady was going against, which obviously makes a lot of sense. Jamar Chase going man-to-man against Malik freaking Harrison. I mean, say what you will. I guess he just made a really good play, but this could be a huge reffing. You've got to be reffing kidding me. Of course, let's go with away this time because I think the play is going to go away from him. I'm sorry. Oh, that's a huge play for those blockers. And, yeah, they doubled up away and nobody came to fill it. I mean, it was like the easiest lane ever, and Patrick Queen just blew that. Of course, we will call a timeout, and I will run the edge rush because, I mean, I've seen more missed kicks in Sim than actually watching. I'm really just here to actually watch. I just actually want to see it happen. Here we go. Is that Kyle Hamilton on the block? And, of course, that man clutching up. All tied up at 24, going to overtime. Come on, Ravens defense. You guys are known for defense. Picked off with a big man. The $70 million man. That would be the storyline for weeks to come. First play of overtime, picking off a talent like Joe Burrow with your new high-ticket item. Unbelievable. The Ravens are headed to a year 1 Super Bowl. We almost never see the Ravens win a Super Bowl. I don't even know if we actually have seen the Ravens win a Super Bowl outside of if we've done a rebuild for them, which I think I looked, and I don't remember if we did or it was a really long time ago. Because, once again, Lamar Jackson almost always goes to free agency, so that window is kind of shortened by that fact alone. Of course, Marcus Williams at the pick. Justin Tucker, we would have avoided overtime if he would have just hit all his field goals, which he's supposed to do. You're Justin Tucker, all right? You don't get the luxury like other kickers do, the whole being able to miss thing. Here it is, the Super Bowl, going up against the Buccaneers, the team that destroyed the Cardinals like we were talking about a little bit ago. Let's take a look at who they had to face to get here. Once again, I'm pretty sure it was the Cardinals, but the wild card round, obviously we didn't have to play in that. They probably didn't either. No, they did. They had to play Dallas, beat them by 6 only, and then they beat Arizona by 25, like I said, and then they beat Green Bay by 3. Every time. Stop! Although in Madden, pretty similar, and I really wouldn't want to play either team there, to be honest. In Madden, it's kind of even. As far as DevUps go, Lamar Jackson obviously already an X factor. Bateman, I thought maybe had a chance. Kind of unfair that he didn't dev up. And then defensively, I don't think we got a single dev up. to be honest. Away, maybe, actually, because he's back to blue. Yeah, he did. So he's back to blue, which means, he is a superstar. Queen didn't go up. I'm surprised Marcus Williams didn't go up. Kyle Hamilton could have, but he's already a superstar, so it's kind of hard to, justify that. Tyus Bowser, how old is he? He's 26. Ooh, I thought he was 24, 25. That's kind of rough, but he's a superstar, man. We got 2 superstar edge rushers on the Ravens already. It's kind of unsurprising or unexpected. Yeah, that's the one. But 85 overall for both teams. The Buccaneers are kind of one of those god-tier teams, so the fact that we're the same overall as them already, with the XP sliders being busted, is kind of surprising. Here it is, Ravens, Buccaneers. Of course, adding Julio Jones has proven huge move. And even though he did help us a lot here, and even if we win the Super Bowl, might have to let him go because of that age, but we'll see. 21-13, 24-13. Defense locking Brady up a bit. And the Ravens are going to win a Super Bowl year 1. Once again, we did sign Julio. And obviously they're healthy, but I never see the Ravens win a Super Bowl. Like I said, I don't even know if they have won a Super Bowl in any of the rebuilds we've done that isn't a Ravens Super Bowl rebuild anyways. I got confused there because I thought they didn't have Brady. I was like, oh, well, that makes a lot more sense that we won. But okay, Baltimore, we see you. Obviously, the AI has all the potential in the world. I've seen teams like the Packers. They signed like Sue and Odell Beckham once before, so it's not like this team couldn't have signed Odell on their own or Julio Jones on their own when we do other rebuilds. So I'm just saying they've probably had Julio once or twice before in a sim, and they just never won it. We didn't really change anything. We made the roster exactly the same. We changed a few, moved a couple of linemen around, moved a couple players around, but nothing crazy. Of course, looking at the game, it was defense. Tom Brady threw 4 interceptions in the Super Bowl, which would just be, just great to see, to be honest. Just wonderful. Of course, Dobbins decent, Lamar awful. I guess you can win a Super Bowl with the Ravens playbook. I guess it's possible. Now, if we did this sim 100 times in a row, season and all, I don't know if that would actually happen, but, it's cool to see that it did. It's kind of unbelievable. I even ran the Ravens defense. Normally, I kind of run the Pittsburgh Steelers for 3-4s, but I just left it the same. Whatever John Harbaugh is running here. Disguised through even the West Coast power run. I didn't even change that. Normally, I go vertical zone run because it's usually the most yards, but why change it if it's not broken? That's the exact saying. That's exactly how it goes. The retirements, did Calais he did! He didn't even give us the morale boost. He could have gave us boost before he left. I just want to see Tom Brady didn't retire as expected. I think he's actually built in the game to not retire. That'd actually be a good question. Would he retire if you made him a 10 overall? Probably, right? Unless it's literally he can't, but Calais retires on us, which is really harsh. Julio wants a 3 or 32, which honestly I don't know if we can even afford. We can barely afford that, which I just don't think you can, honestly. I just think you have to save money for some other players, and we're probably going to have to release other names. Nick Boyle's going to be gone. I think he's a 12 or a 13 mil cap hit next year for them in real life, and I think he's only a 3 mil dead hit. So, I'm sorry. You gone. Nick Boyle's the 7th most expensive cap hit player on this team, at least in Madden this season, so we're going to drop his pen down to 3 mil. Let's just make it a 1-year deal. Just make it cleaner. 3 mil pen, just like real life, and release him. We got tons of tight ends. They drafted many. What kind of deal do they have Mark Andrews on? Hold up, excuse me. Jeez, not a bad deal at all. Good job, boys. We've cheesed it. Damn it, they paid Morgan Moses a 3-year 15. I don't need him. So we'll take a look at free agency, but of course we really need to save some money. Got to pay Lamar Jackson. I don't know if it's this year. I don't know if they have a 5th-year option they can give him. Of course, Tom Brady, I normally would give a 3-year deal to the Buccaneers, but Tom Brady has that whole announcership deal kind of lined up. Maybe his last season in real life, so I figured instead of forcing him to play 3 more years, let him go to free agency, and maybe he just doesn't go to another team. I don't know. But yeah, 20 mil. I mean, there would be some names that we could really use. Technically, we don't have an actual vacant position, but we do have some players that could change. You know, Ronnie Harrison would be like kind of a Kyle Hamilton guy, but you could put him or Kyle Hamilton at linebacker, which would be pretty busted, to be honest, but at the same time, lacking a little bit in coverage. I mean, he would be a really good middle linebacker, though, wouldn't he? Speaking of, Jarvis Landry's asking for quite the contract. I'm not really interested, though. Julio wins a ring with us, but, I mean, we can't really afford him. We do get Ronnie Harrison, who is likely going to be our middle linebacker. I don't know if he was actually tried there before, but he will be now. He also has 62 block shedding, which is actually quite high for a safety. And linebackers, I mean, when you're kind of starting them out, they're usually like 70 in the game. So, I mean, it's not terrible. 78 overall at middle linebacker, which is, I mean, pretty good, actually. All right, so it is draft time, and we desperately need wide receiver. The problem is, so does a lot of the players or teams in the league. A lot of these wide receivers are going to be going very high. Obviously, you can see one goes already. I'm trying to look at Jaxon Smith here, and I don't know if I'm going to land him or not because he's kind of like a round one guy. Marvin Mims goes. I'm trying to think of teams that need wide receiver. Lions definitely could go for one, but didn't they just grab one? So the Lions are probably a team we could trade with, right? If we're lucky, but 32 to 13 is a lot to ask for. Let's take a look at wide receiver. He is the last one. Also, they didn't let me scout him further. I just know that he's a decent name. Interesting. I did have a couple of other names, obviously, on my list. I don't know who the hell Hazelwood even is. I put him on my list, but... Ooh, wait a minute. He looks pretty good, too, but his excel and agility might suck. I also looked at John Humphreys, who is okay. He's a little bit more of a project. He's a 6'5" guy, though, which is definitely very intriguing. You know, if we added Devontae Smith, too, here, you know, it's... I don't know if that's really the size requirement that we're kind of looking for, because once again, we have a ton of smaller type players like Parker Washington as well. I don't know. I'm thinking, because as far as like everything else goes, I mean, our first round prospects aren't like crazy necessary. Like Dexter would be a great addition, but do we actually need a DT, especially within the 29 not strength, but bench press reps? I don't know. I mean, I might be willing to trade up to 13 here and give up a bunch for it. Similar, ironically, to the Lions. The Lions don't need wide receiver, right? Like, I'm pretty sure they just grabbed a solid one right there, didn't they? Or did they not? Maybe they didn't, but it's not on their list of needs, so I'm willing to probably trade up. Damn, this is a lot to give up, though. Like, in real life, I think it's totally worth it. But in game, I don't know if it's worth it, because all you need is a breakout. I don't know if this guy's going to be superstar, X Factor, regular star. But I'm going to make the trade, and we're going to do it. Screw it. This team needs a wide receiver. This guy could be that franchise-type wide receiver. We're doing it. Well, I mean, it is what it is. Let's go for him. All right. Let's do it. If I were to guess his name, which is, I mean, I'm a little nervous to say it. I would say it's Njigba. It looks like Njigba, but I don't know if it is. I don't care. It doesn't matter, because we're around and grab him, hidden development trade. Acceleration is lacking, but the speed is higher than I would have thought, actually. Change of direction is amazing. Jumping's a little low, but looks like a good wide receiver to me, and I think even in real life, he might even be projected higher than that. So it's still kind of a steal, despite the fact that it costs us a lot. I honestly think this is actually a bad trade for the Giants, but normally we always overvalue, so... You know, one trade in our favor here and there isn't going to hurt, especially since we've seen it in real life. A lot of trades are far from even. Sheridan Jones is still there, which is a little surprising, actually. A little bit on the slower side, though. Cornerback's a thought, but it's not, like, the biggest need just yet. Of course, we do also have Clark Phillips. He's a 2-3 guy, which he's 20 years old, super fast. Could use a slot corner a little bit, but the trade up here for me was between Nestor and John Humphreys. I think with the wide receiver we just grabbed, though, and the youth of our other guys, I think he's probably just not someone we need right now. So Doug Nestor. Biggs Doug Nestor, who is normal development trait. Okay, that's not good. Well, that was bad. I just literally traded up for a lineman I'm not going to use. Oh, John Humphrey's still there. Welcome to the squad, buddy. Brew McCoy might have been better. Hidden development trait. Now I'm kind of mad because now going forward for rebuilds, if I'm using this class, I can't really use him because it would kind of be cheating. Jumping's bad, change of direction's bad. Do they see him as a tight end, whoever made this class? Is he maybe a tight end in real? I don't know, but interesting, I guess. We've got a lot of draft picks here in the 5th. Might actually use that to trade. We could use another corner, like I said, though. Woody Washington, what a name. What a freaking name. We traded 2 5ths this for the Jets' 4th next and a 6th this, which, did the Jets do well or something? Because pick 31 in the 6th round, I was assuming he was just going to be better than that. And we're going to grab Cam Hart for some cornerback depth. Don't expect much. Wow, I expected more than that, though. Holy crap, he sucks. We're looking at overall, 75 overall for a wide receiver, which was obviously the big ticket item. 67 overall for the guard, which was not a big ticket item. And then John Humphreys, 68 overall hidden. And then 63 overall for that corner, who I'm probably just going to release. Whereas looking at Humphreys, though, decent catcher. 77 across the board for catching, or 78 for catching. Short route and medium route's pretty solid, though. Deep route's iffy. Release is decent. Once again, the big issue is that jumping. 80 jumping. I don't know. I mean, I get he's like a white guy, but like, do you mind being better than that? Of course, route running here, not super great, but really good short route, I suppose. And yeah, I mean, let's take a look at his dev just for the hell of it, if we can. Superstar, please. Oof. That is a bit of a trade up for a non-superstar player. I'm actually going to boost him. I'm sorry. I might like boost him in the draft class as well. He's projected 9 overall in real life. Why wouldn't he be? What the hell team are we? We're the Ravens. Holy crap. Like, why would he be projected so high if he's not going to be superstar, you know? Be mad at me all you want. I don't care. I don't care. I just don't. I do care a little, but please, just be nice. I traded up from 32 to get him at 13. Stop yelling, please. All right, looking at the offense, obviously one of the glaring things that you see is that offensive line. Absolutely need to address that in the offseason, of course. Will we have the money to do so? Probably not. Will we have the draft picks to do so? A first-round pick? So, I mean, maybe. The second-round pick's obviously long gone. I'm hoping our playoff hunt is not long gone because that could be a massive pick for the Lions to have taken. Obviously, they got 2 second-round picks off of us. But, yeah, looking at the wide receivers, definitely better. Even if he was only star, it would have been fair enough. But I just think you got a guy that's projected 9 overall. We take him at 13. It's fair that he's superstar, right? I mean, it's a real-life prospect. I don't know. I mean, get mad at me, all right? Get mad at me, whatever. And you can't say, oh, well, it's cheating because, you know, he would have went higher. It's like, well, there's better players that go late that we know are hidden and they don't, and we just don't grab them because it would be boring if we went with the same players all the time, right? So stop yelling. That's all I am. That's all I want, relax. But, of course, looking at the defensive side of things, didn't really add too much, but Ronnie Harrison is now our middle linebacker, number 2. Ajabo is now kind of cleared to play, but it's not really a spot for him right now, as unless he, overshadows Tyus, because, sure, Tyus is superstar, but A, he's 27, and B, at the end of the day, if he's not playing well, we can just get rid of him. I would assume we can also get a pretty good value out of him, even if he's 28. He's still on a contract that we can't necessarily get rid of him on yet, but, at some point, I suppose. But, yeah, that's pretty much the roster, and let's go into year 2. Maybe repeat. Probably not. All right, so we came out of a very tough schedule, 4-3. Of course, I may have to cheat again. Lamar Jackson playing well, but is he worth a $310 million deal with the way he has played? Let us find out real quick. So he is playing pretty tamely through 7 games. Obviously, the touchdown to pick ratio is great, but is that really that great? I don't know. He would be asking for a $44.2 million deal, which I just do not think he is that valuable. I think he's around a 37 mil would be even, kind of high. I guarantee people are going to be like, wow, cheating again. Yet all those people would be the exact same people that would be doing the Lamar is a running back meme, but actually meaning it. So we're going to give him a 7-year, $259 million deal. So this is his new contract, a $35 million cap hit as of right now. Marcus Peters is a guy I would love to re-sign, but I don't think we can afford him now. Yeah, we're too broke. Lamar literally took every dollar we had. Like, we could probably release some players, but do I really want to do that? Who's getting paid that we can't afford? So Peters is being paid a lot. We also did take a bit of a pen, which is not something I was super happy to do, but we kind of had to. Yeah, I don't know. We're just kind of not in a great spot. It's got a lot of guys getting money. Oh, damn, we did sell. We would have gotten that XP, dude. We sold. That's actually insane. We would have had it. We actually sold, and we didn't get it this time. Wow, that's kind of harsh, dude. I didn't think it was or. You know, I actually should have seen if Lamar would have taken the deal. Probably not, right? But it would have been interesting to see if he would have actually taken the deal. Because our salary cap is kind of messed up right now because we're paying Lamar that money already. Despite the fact that the salary cap will improve, it'll increase next season, and he should be making 23. So we technically probably could afford Marcus Peters right now and then would have to deal with that in the future, but at the same time, I'm kind of just ready to move on from Peters just because of his age. I really wanted to keep him because, you know, he is still really good with star dev. Has a chance if he gets a superstar, but it's probably unlikely anyways. Well, forget linemen. We need corner. So we're going to scout all three of these guys. Maybe even need to scout into the third round because we might have to use a first-round pick on a lineman. We'll see. This is actually kind of true, though, for Marlon Humphrey, to be honest. Like, that was actually kind of true, not getting the credit he deserves in the league. Well, clearly you weren't that great. You lost to the Panthers, and you couldn't get picks. We're actually going to miss the playoffs. We actually missed the playoffs! The start to the season we had against the opponents we had. Look at this. We had to play the Bengals, Patriots, Browns, Bills, Buccaneers, and Cowboys out the gate. And we finished that 4-2, 5-2, 6-2, 7-2, and we finished 9-8. Oh my, we did win a Super Bowl with the Ravens playbook. I don't feel like anyone's going to be too mad if I change it this time, because look at these numbers, dude. Look at those numbers. Look at this, dude. This playbook sucks, man. Didn't even have two 1,000-yard receivers this time. That's awful. That's so bad. Tyus Bowser actually played well as well, which is like bad because I wanted somebody to be replaced by Ajabo. I don't think it's going to happen, though, honestly. We'll take a quick glance at the awards, but I really don't care, to be honest. I'm just going to, you know, boom, 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 boom. No one cares. Well, we're in a bit of a spot because we're ultra negative in cap, and we just had a bad season, technically. So that's super fun, coming off of a Super Bowl win, which is great. Buffalo beats the Cowboys. Let's take a look at any dev-ups we had. None on offense, unfortunately. Defensively, we had... Actually, Owe wasn't superstar, was he? He's actually so good already. Holy crap. Or was he super? Oh, yeah, he got it last year, actually. Never mind, I remember the whole blue hidden thing. Patrick Queen, then, was the only guy to get a dev-up, and in good timing, because we had to pay him. Yeah, Marcus Williams is causing a few issues, believe it or not. We're in not a great spot, to be honest. We're really, really broke. Oh, we're not that bad off, actually. We have $6 million cap space. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. So Kevin Zeitler is going to have to go. Morgan Moses is going to have to go. Actually, that might be real. It's 1.4 mil also. You know, let's cut that off a little bit. I need every dime I can get. Normally, I would just release them because we have enough money. I need every dime I can get. I'm also going to use my real life clause here and make Zeitler's pen 0 because technically he would have been off contract in real life. Not a bad lineman. We're just that desperate. Sorry, pal. At least you'll go to a team that maybe you'll win with again because our winning days may be over, buddy. And of course, on top of it, Peters is still very much so usable. If we can get him on like a 1-year 11 or something like that, would be great. But I don't know if that's going to happen. Yeah, based on real-life contracts and all that, I can see why the Ravens let Lamar go every time because it's kind of tough. if you're not able to release players or edit their pen hits according to real life. But yeah, we're in a bit of a spot here, but like I said, I think we'll be fine. Let's take a look. I don't know if Peters is going to be someone we can actually afford. He's probably going to be a guy that just leaves in general. Damn, he still wants that 1 year 15. That's a lot of money, but he is a huge importance to this team. So I'm going to give him the deal. Whew. We're down to 10 mil, baby. 10 mil, free agency doesn't gonna, it's not gonna matter. We're just gonna ignore it. We literally can't afford anything. Although, at the same time, do we even have to pay anyone? I'm not gonna pay anyone in free agency, but just in general, like, are we that screwed for next year is really my issue here. So Pierce, sure. Peters is gonna be gone. Tucker, I mean, do I even care? He's also regressing. Edwards, Clark, don't care. So yeah, I mean, other than Queen, we don't really have to pay anyone anyways. Oh, and Dobbins. Damn it, we have a couple of players to pay, actually. They started sneaking in here at the end. Damn it. Okay, that's not good. But we are able to save 1 more year of not having a draft corner. So, first round, Nick Bosa is a free agency. He's a free agency. Derwin's in free agency. Some of these names you normally wouldn't see here. Nick Bosa and Derwin are not common names. Terry McLaurin, unfortunately, is. Elton is. Deron Payne is. Yeah, not players that we are even close to affording anyways, but just throwing it out there. Oh, I didn't even think about that. We have pick 16 because of how bad we were. Interesting. Interesting stuff. So, this is going to be a trade down, a hardcore trade down from us, I think. Because, once again, I scouted based on that knowledge. Also, based on what I've seen, I don't really think anyone's really worth a high pick anyways. We have a bunch of late first round type of guys. There's guys that we can definitely go for. This guy might even make it where I don't re-sign Queen because this guy's just nuts. But of course, I think we're going to trade down to at least late first, and maybe if we want, we'll take a DT. I mean, there's some decent looking DTs here that are, pretty good. I put both of these guys on my extra scouting list. I'm glad that it just didn't work, as it usually doesn't. Super valuable. At least the, what is it called? The linebacker showed up on that list. We also have Nate Fletcher, who might be worth it. He's kind of more of a smaller guy, but that's kind of like prototypical corner nowadays. It's on the smaller side. It's all about the athletics. So realistically, what I would love to do is find a team that has multiple seconds that are high or multiple firsts that are late, which I'm gonna be honest, we probably won't find either, but maybe we can trade with the team that took our second round, perhaps. I don't know. Just trying to find something because we need more quantity than quality at this point. So the Lions have 45 and 48. I don't know if that's quite high enough, but at the same time, I'm not seeing any other options really. We actually gained decent value here. We gained like a late fourth in value. We traded 16 this, a 7th this, and a 6th next for 45 and 48 this with 77 this as well. Trading to, of course, the team we traded with last year to the Lions, which is also a similar trade to what we did last year as well, pick-wise, or, like where it is, 16, we had 13. Of course, they go middle linebacker, which is a little questionable, but I suppose if he's the guy, it's not really a loss. But that's the thing. Right now, it's linemen that we need. We need to replace linemen. Outside of that, it's all future-proofing. So, I mean, what do you do here? I feel like we should just move on. I mean, DT would be great and all, but is it necessary? I don't know. And even if it was, both of our players are gone anyways. It's a little low of a, I wouldn't say expectation, but a little bit low of a knowledge base for this player, but I like everything that he has going for himself. The question is, do I like him enough to replace... He could play guard. He's 6'4", 308. That's not terrible guard size. Do I like him enough to replace Falele? I don't know. Because Falele is normal, but he's still got potential, right? Oh, he's 24, though. Like, he's not a bad player, but at the same time, 24 normal... Ugh, that's pretty bad. Like, real life, it's different, right? Because, like, these guys develop differently. They could suck for 4 years in a row, and then just out of nowhere, they find the right coach that just makes them a god, and then they go up to a 90 overall in real life in Madden, So, like, you can't really base that. I want 2 linemen, because Nestor's still really not that guy, and Phillips is already 26. Really not that guy at all either, so I want at least 2, with Falele maybe just sticking it out at right tackle. I don't know, though. But I also would like a DT, but I think we've kind of crossed that bridge, unfortunately. So yeah, long story long, we're going to end up going with BJ Clancy, and he is hidden development trait, 87 strength. Once again, very athletic. Change direction sucks, but I don't know if that actually matters for a lineman. So we're going to end up having him somewhere along the line, probably at guard as of right now, if I were to guess. Really want to take a chance on Fletcher because he does have that zone and all that, but man, how old is he? 21 as well. The problem is if he's normal development trait, that's a huge L. But at the same time, if we wait, we don't get a corner, and then we have to use a rookie we get, and that guy's normal, it's even worse. So I guess we're going to go with Nate Fletcher. Screw it. Damn it, he's normal. Please at least be a good overall, dude. We're going to trade up to pick 68 using a 5th round next year, and obviously pick 77, which we will end up using to grab a linebacker who looks absolutely insane. I would be very shocked if he wasn't hidden, but if not, he's got to at least be a good overall. Christian Samuel, he is hidden, super athletic. I mean, kind of reminded me of Harrison, to be honest. Maybe we do get rid of Patrick Queen here. Can't really move to a 4-3. All right, we're going to go to pick 16. We have a bunch of day 3 linemen, and if one of the non-day 3 linemen is still there here in the 3rd, I might grab one of them instead. And there is one, Clint Lowry. How old is he? 21. Also has that A awareness. A little rougher, though, because he has that D lead block, so you'd make him out to be more of a tackle, which is, I mean, kind of what we need anyways. Do we just replace the whole line? Screw it, Clint Lowry. Hidden development trait. It's 87 strength as well. I mean, it's kind of easy. It's kind of easy to draft linemen now. We still have a couple of more 4ths on top of it, which, I mean, this left guard Hurst looks pretty good. The right tackle doesn't look bad either, to be honest, but there's no buts. He looks good. He's very athletic as well, which is kind of making me think, why the hell did we even take that last tackle? Hurst looks better, though, because he's a 2-3 projected. Whereas the other guy we have no idea about. I'm going to grab Jamarcus Hurst, finish the line. The one guy that looked clear-cut is the one that's not good. Oh, my. I can't take too many linemen, though. We'll do one more. If he's here, if Watson's here, I'll take him. If not, it's a GG. He's not here, so it's a GG. And then, of course, we have a bad release, but very fast wide receiver that we're going to be taking right now to potentially replace Duvernay. Very, very fast. And for our final pick, assuming the kicker is there, we're going to be taking a strong-legged kicker in Caleb Galloway. Here he is. Very good accuracy as well. Boom. Sorry, Ravens fans, but Madden has kind of tied my hands here. But let's take a look at the draft recap. I've kind of already forgotten who we've taken, to be honest. But, okay, so 71 overall left tackle. The corner was a good overall. Christian Samuel, 72 overall. This was a guy that was hidden, right? 68 overall hidden. A bunch of 70s. Really low overalls, but not bad. Nate Fletcher, how good was he? So 21 years old, really good zone, decent man, solid press, good catching. Outside of his jumping, he actually is a pretty good prospect. It's a good pick. We needed a number 3 corner, kind of. We still have Jalen Armour-Davis, but the youth is obviously there for Fletcher, where it just simply isn't for Jalen Armour-Davis at this point. Of course, Christian Samuel, kind of a do-it-all type. If you really wanted to get freaky with it, maybe put him at edge, but we're going to be putting him at middle linebacker right now. He's going to be playing the backup spot to the duo, making a good trio. Maybe being the new middle linebacker, too, coming up next season, which I don't even know if we're going to have a next season, if we're going to be honest, because we did kind of win the Super Bowl year 1, so, just throwing that out there. Clancy is our new right guard. I wonder if any of these guys is superstar. Not him. And then I think this is the only other guy that was hidden. What is Lowry? I suppose if I'm going to start somebody, I probably do want to just continue to start Falele, so I guess he'll just start. This team loves their giant freaking tackles anyways, start of elementary. So that is what we're going to be looking at for our... did we put them both at guard? No, Hurst is a guard, fair enough. But that's what we're looking at there. Let's take a look at McLean, I suppose, who is a very solid player, actually. Very, very usable. All 3 traits on top of it. As expected, though, the injury, stamina, toughness is dog crap. Also, wearing number 81 as a tiny guy is a little disgusting. I think the only numbers I accept when you're, like, tiny in the 80s is probably 85 and 88, to be honest. Oh, my God. I guess 85, because all the other numbers are gross. And I don't know what playbook to run. I'm trying to think. I guess the Bills? I want a playbook that actually, like, has us throwing more, but at the same time, I also want a playbook realistic to this team. The Bills aren't really a pure running team, right? Like, they have Josh Allen who runs, but he's not really a running guy. Like, or they're not a running team anyways for their running backs. Can't do Tennessee either. San Fran, Chicago maybe, actually. They're decent. Let's go Chicago, why not? Yeah, I will admit, we really haven't done super well in this rebuild for drafting. Like, we had some picks. Oh, I just released a white running back. You know how rare that is? I mean, just releasing a white running back in general is not something that's common, because there really aren't any, but yeah, I mean, I feel like we didn't land as many hidden at the positions we needed to. Like, we really, really needed to land a hidden development trait corner. Just simply didn't, unfortunately. But you gotta admit, that guy did look great, just based on the potentials and the 40 and all that, but oh well. We traded Phillips to the Bears for a 4th round draft pick. All right, here we are for year 3, potentially the last season. I'd maybe do a 4th just because things got a little weird, but we'll see. Looking at the receivers, obviously Bateman is still sort of the number 1, kind of, sort of. Of course, that short route's really not developing, whereas Jaxon is kind of a weird wide receiver. He's really good deep, solid short, and then iffy medium route with good release, good catching, bad catch in traffic, good spec catch, not good jumping. Let's just not talk about it, all right? Dobbins, Lamar Jackson, new scheme. Maybe we'll see better numbers from them. Maybe worse. Of course, O-line, we have a lot of color now, which is nice. You know, it's got some blues and some yellows and whatnot. And Daniel Falele is still normal dev. Obviously, can't go up in dev. Defensively, lots of talent here. Really worried about Peters going forward there. And obviously, Tyus Bowser was kind of hoping he would suck so then I could trade him off, but that's not the case, so Ajabo is a backup again, which is definitely not wasteful at all. Of course, D-line need improvements for sure. I mean, there's a reason why we won it year 1 and didn't do so well last year. Calais Campbell is a huge part of this defense, and we're really not getting any production from anyone in the interior since he left. Every damn time, they never win it. Wait, hold up. Did EA actually kind of give me a good one? Prospect Spotlight, A finesse for the DT. It's pretty juiced. Re-signings, a bunch of old men, but also J.K. Dobbins. We have a lot of money now. Of course, it's because we have to replace a bunch of names. Dobbins has kind of played worse over the years, so 5-year 40 I think is fine, just because he has that potential to get back to that top-tier quality. And then Patrick Queen's a weird one, because once again, we have his replacement ready to go, but at the same time, he's so good for his value, man. I mean, that's tough. Of course, we do need D linemen, so even though he's only a block shedder, Justin Matabuke, I would imagine is how you say it, is going to get probably a 3-year deal, nothing higher. And then as far as anyone else goes, Duvernay, not terrible money, but we have his replacement kind of ready to go. He is very good at catching. His catching traffic's decent. His short route is good, but man, these guys are just, like, it's pissing me off, honestly. Daniel, does he actually need a contract this year? No, he and the punter need to get an extra year added. Same with Kolar and a bunch of all these guys. But don't even know who this guy is, but he's apparently star development trait, whatever. This is actually kind of tough. I mean, like, what do you do? Justin Tucker, I'm sorry, he's got to be gone. Like, he hasn't played like real-life Tucker at all. Of course, 8 of 9. I mean, postseason, how many kicks did he miss? 3 or 4? I mean, that's just awful. Block shedding, Pierce, probably not that big of a need because we have literally all block shedders, but he's such a high overall that it's impossible for him to drop below a value of 12 mil. And then Peters is going to have to wait again because he very well could. All right, playoffs. What do we got? No bye week, actually. We were 13-3, lost that final game, unfortunately, but with the Bears playbook, which, you know, features Justin Fields, who can obviously move a bit, we go 13-4, and Lamar Jackson becomes a pure god-tier passer, just based on the numbers that I've seen. I don't know what his interception totals are like, but we'll find out in a moment. Of course, second in yards, third in passing touchdowns, only 8 interceptions. Not great on the ground. I guess the Bears playbook isn't updated to actually run the ball with the quarterback, but Dobbins at least played well. Receiving, Bateman was a god. Oh my. 3 guys. Wow, the Bears playbook's kind of busted. Bears with West Coast power might be the move. I don't know, I'm just saying. Bowser with 10.5 sacks, Away with 7.5. 5 for Travis Jones. Once again, we're just not getting much from the interior, to be honest. Fletcher with 3 interceptions, which is pretty clutch because he's just a slot corner. Tucker missed 3 kicks, one of them being blocked. It's not that I don't like Tucker and I don't want to have him return. It's just like he's not playing like Tucker, I'm used to. And he's pretty costly. Of course, Josh Jacobs, number 2 on MVP. Lamar Jackson, number 1. But fortunately, you have Mahomes there, so it's not really going to work out well for us. So much XP loss because of Mahomes being slightly better on the season. So harsh. Bateman at number 2. O-line at number 1. Number 4, which is pretty cool. D-line, no. Linebacker, maybe. Number 6 and 9. DB, we have not on the list. And then kicker at number 7. But regardless, the Steelers in the playoffs. I think we had to beat them to win the Super Bowl. So, or get to the Super Bowl, obviously. On the way to the Super Bowl, I think it was the divisional round, was it? And then we played the Bengals in the championship, I believe. But either way, let's go to the end of the game. Steelers, nice drive for a touchdown. We bounce back with 3. It's still points. Bounce back again with 3. Once again, still points. As we are now up by 2. Maybe Tucker deserves that contract as he just got 3 field goals. He misses an extra point, though. Oh, wait, maybe he didn't, actually, because I forgot we had 6 points. But the defense looking really good as we are holding them hard and maybe choking a little bit near the end. But the offense doing its job. We got the takeaway, and ultimately, we are going to be moving on to the divisional round. Lamar Jackson killed it. Kenny Pickett, once again, held to well under 200 yards. Both games now in the playoffs. Dobbins was pretty bad, whereas Najee was better. Still, we won. That's all that really matters here. Looking at defensively now, sack totals, a bunch for them, a little bit for us. 2 picks, 1 for Queen, 1 for Humphrey. Missing 1 kick for Tucker out of 6 isn't terrible, to be fair. And it was a 50+, so whatever. But yeah, this is kind of like the best season to try and have another Super Bowl win, though, because, of course, we're going to lose Peters. We're going to lose Tucker more than likely. Losing Queen. We're kind of resetting, but, just throwing that out there. We are also getting better, though, with guys like Falele getting better. The O-line obviously going to get better every single season, and, the linebackers, everyone getting better, but it's kind of just like a stalemate, if you will. You're losing a huge corner like Peters, and you're Queen, and you're gaining youth. That might take a little while to get there. But Jacksonville now, 85 overall for them, 90 for us. If we at least make another Super Bowl, I'm pretty happy with the result, I think. All right, going to the end of the game. If we can beat our division rival Steelers, well, I'm sure we can beat the freaking Jaguars. Looking pretty good to do so. Driving all the way down, and they do not score. It is now a 28-0 halftime score. It is now 35-0. This defense kind of going off, though. 42-0. 49-0. And, of course, they're going to score right at the end. 49-7 to head to the championship round. That is pretty busted. Oh, my. And it's a different scheme. I mean, it's the Bears. Maybe it's not the Baltimore scheme, even though we won with that anyways. Could this be our most impressive rebuild in that sense that, we're not using the OP playbooks? Of course, Owe and Tyus clutch. Also, this, considering we're not really the best built team right now, Lamar's kind of carrying. Of course, the defense is doing great too. I mean, good job. I would say who was carrying the most. I would say the cornerbacks and Lamar Jackson, without a doubt. Ooh, the Chiefs. This is a powerhouse matchup. We have the overall, but they have the playbook, dude. All right, here it is. Can we win? Giving up 3 isn't terrible. Getting nice 3 points after the defense stops them is great. It's all tied up at 10-all now, though. Ooh, offense sold there. Offense gets a touchdown back. Defense forces it, gets a touchdown offense. 31-17, looking decent. 31-20. Field goal is hit. Up by 14 still. Chiefs trying to make a comeback. Do they have enough time? 7 points. A full field to go. Of course, the clock is basically gone. I want to come in and watch. And I suppose the most useless player out of all 3 would be Pierce because he's going to go against potentially a triple team. It's like a double team, basically. We're working Mahomes rolling, throwing it up. I mean, it's a good catch on Marlon Humphrey, but that was debatable. Once again, Mahomes kind of broken in a bad way in Madden. And we're going to be back in the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson, once again, playing really well. Defense, forcing picks. Running, Dobbins was not great, to be honest. Wide receivers, kind of a group effort again, which I really like to see. Defensively, we had a sack from Pierce, Harrison, Bowser, Away, Matabuke, picks from Fletcher and Hamilton. Yeah, those DBs are really good. I didn't even think about Marcus Williams as well. This is like the best DB group in the league by a mile. It's actually insane. I mean, are all 4 90+ overall? Also, Away is like, his overall is up and away, like it's going off. The Giants are in the Super Bowl. Interesting. So once again, let's take a look at who they had to beat. I'm imagining, I didn't look at their actual record, but I'm imagining they had to play in this game, right? Cardinals by 11-9. That's the one. 9 is the number. A lot of high-scoring games, though, is what I'm seeing. 6 points there. Of course, only 3 there. Green Bay's defense is pretty good in Sims. So, other than that game, though, they were putting up a lot of points, which is worrisome. Let's look at the wide receivers. Obviously, Bateman is a superstar, which now we have 2 superstar wide receivers. Andrews goes to X Factor, which is pretty cool. What ability to get Wrecking Ball? He has no abilities. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, but I suppose mid. Wait, is there mid and elite? Short in. Short is way more beastly. Route tech, I guess, I suppose. Looking at the defensive side of things, any dev-ups, it appears not, which is unfortunate. And I think outside of Kyle Hamilton, the safeties, the DBs, they're all 90 overalls, which, like I said, is a huge part of why we're doing well. Of course, they have a couple of decent players there, as you can see. They grabbed that tight end pretty high. He's a solid speedster. But here we are, going into the end of the game. The Giants with a touchdown. The Giants with a stop and a touchdown. We get 7 back. The Giants, once again, like I said, they score a lot of points. We're not going away yet, though. 14-21, halftime score. We'll keep it that way. We'll be happy with it. Tied up at 21 all. Defense allows us, but then they give up a huge touchdown. This is a close game. I was about to say allows us to, get back on the top. Maybe not even back on time. Might have been the first time and only time of the game. Of course, running the ball really nicely here. I like the clock management. But at the same time, that's kind of the dangers. You're relying on the run game so much. I don't think you can, right? Like, you surely can't punt this ball away. Dobbins. Could be an Andrews play. Andrews is open. I was hoping that's where we're going to... What the hell's going on here? Andrews at the truck. Oh, I thought he was going to go for both. Adoree Jackson looks like he's a superstar. Lamar not playing badly, but once again, they need the volume up. They need the volume to increase. Got to score a touchdown here, and they do. They get the field goal or the extra point, but the Giants are not done here. This is a very close game. What happened there? Throwaway. Uh-oh, this is bad for them. 4th and 17 with the Super Bowl on the line. Does anyone mind? We're just gonna have to deal with it. Just close your eyes. Oh my God, what is happening? I can't... What? Wait, hold the F up. What actually just happened there? We just had 3 deep blues. Oh, sure, I guess. I'm sure that's what would happen. I'm going to blame it on the flashing lights. Oh, look at the offense, though. Oh, look at the Where is the clock, EA? Do you mind explaining to us where the clock decided to go? 7 seconds left with 2 timeouts, and we had a minute to get down the field. This is a Bateman play. Actually, no, it's not. I'm done with this game. I'm actually done with this game. I mean, I kind of had to force it there because I felt like if I wait for Bateman, if he doesn't get open, the game is gone. But if we throw it up to him in a one-on-one kind of situation, if he drops it, it's fine. Of course, the other guy was in a little bit better of a spot, but at the same time, he jumps forward, our guy's jumping sideways. I mean, I guess it was a force. Looking at the play, I couldn't tell if Bateman was going to get open. There was 3 guys underneath. It's not the worst call, I feel. But ultimately, we lose because of some 50-some yard bomb play on 4th and 17. which is just, I mean, I guess it's possible, but unlikely, I suppose. The Giants end up winning the Super Bowl. You can kind of argue, man. You can kind of argue, what is it called? Kind of argue that they deserved it. You kind of argue that we deserve to win it. 2 picks for Lamar. 1 was him. 1 was me. Barkley giving up huge touchdowns. Once again, the scoring. We knew coming in the Giants were going to score a lot of points, and they did. Defense kind of picked it up late, but it wasn't enough. We even made them miss a field goal. They put up 40 in the playoffs. 3 games. 3 of their 4 games, they put up 40. That's actually absurd. But once again, is there really much more you can do than make it to the Super Bowl twice in 3 years? Not really, right? It's a super disappointing loss, but we got there. We lived our glory years. It's going to be a shorter rebuild, but once again, there was a potential for this because, of course, Lamar Jackson's a freak, and these are his ratings. Not as great as I would have thought. I would have thought he would have been a higher accuracy, like 99 across pretty much. Catching's amazing. Short and medium route is awful. Deep route's not too great itself. Release is good. He's just a good catcher. His route running sucks, though. Bateman, 88 overall. Very good route running for medium and deep. Really good catching across the board. Very solid number 1. With Duvernay, even though we're letting him go, being an 80 overall, solid catcher, great short route runner. So you do have all 3 aspects, right? Like you have 3 different style receivers, technically. And then Dobbins, really good juke and spin, very fast. Trucking and stiff arm is just, adequate to have that as an option if he decides to just randomly truck. Mark Andrews, 98 overall, very good route runner, very good catcher, and he's just a very good player, simply put. O-line, I guess we'll take a look at Linderbaum, and then Falele. The other 2 are just, random guys you drafted. You want your power move on the interior. Would love to see a little bit more for pass block, but I suppose for what the Ravens want to do, technically, run blocking is the bigger focus. Terrible ratings here for Falele. I mean, he's just a good power blocker, but even then, bad run block, bad pass block, bad finesse across the board. And that's kind of the thing you'd have to work on if you're a big guy like him, is not the power move guys. Like, you should expect to beat those guys. It's the guys that are elusive. Those are the guys you're going to have the most issue with, you would assume. Of course, Away was really good. Ratings, at least. He's kind of iffy for sack totals. I think he had like a really good year 1, and then year 2 and 3 were like if. Patrick Queen, of course, we're going to be letting him go to free agency, even though he's amazing, so it's really hard to do. Ronnie Harrison kind of ruined this thing, if you will, because, with him being contracted, it would be Queen that would be going, despite that Queen would only be making a little bit more than him. But because we can't get rid of him, I mean, it's kind of like he is the reason why Queen's going, even though he's better. So it's kind of iffy. Of course, looking at Williams and Hamilton now, solid players. Hamilton looks really good. His Excel boosted hardcore. Peters, still good. Of course, we'll take a look at Marlon Humphrey, even though it probably doesn't matter too much. Very solid player as expected. Jones is going to be weird. I'll tell you that. Good block shed. Power move 77. Maybe not as weird as I thought, but he had a couple of upgrades that were giving him finesse as well as power move. I was like, what's going on here? Of course, speaking of, 72 for both. Block shed's good. No real pass rushers on the interior, which could have changed a lot. As, you don't have to worry as much on the interior when you're passing, technically, with this team. So, just saying. But regardless, that's going to be our Baltimore Ravens realistic style rebuild. If there's something you didn't like in the rebuild, let me know. If there's, you liked it, whatever, leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. Maybe if you're not new, appreciate your continued support a ton. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel, PK plays for non-Madden stuff. And that's pretty much it. If you guys have a suggestion for another rebuild you want to see in the future or near future, let me know. We could do maybe the Chargers, perhaps. I don't really know if there's that many teams that we haven't done realistically that, need one. So it might be the last of the realistic rebuilds, perhaps. Might just be like challenge rebuilds or different Madden rebuilds, whatever it is, perhaps going forward. Regardless, though, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video, which I imagine will be Tuesday.